I don't need these Asahi boards anymore. I just need this one. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about the best synthetic rubber cutting board for me. Yes, that's right, everyone's going to have different ones, but this I believe is finally my holy grail of synthetic rubber cutting boards. Now, I know some of you will ask in the comment section below to compare Parker Asahi and Hasegawa or just a video about Hasegawa. There is a video that is specifically about Hasegawa, also synthetic cutting boards. You can find that video in the video description below. But today is all about Parker Asahi, a company that comes from Fukuoka City in Saitama Prefecture in Japan, and they are synthetic rubber through and through. That's a hard word typically for me, the TH. But anyhow, a big shout out and thank you to John Sugio of Bonsai Boys Trading for sending me this extra large Parker Asahi professional black cutting board. The length that is before you is 600 millimeters long by 300 millimeters deep by 20 millimeters thick. Now, if you watched the last Parker Asahi video, up here, the conclusion to that video would have been that out of the 7 synthetic rubber cutting boards that I was reviewing, my favorite one was the beige, 20 millimeters thick, and the largest that Rocky Tsujio would have sent me, I believe it was last year. Now, yes, Rocky Tsujio, John Sugio, there is a link there. Rocky Tsujio is the father of John Sugio, two great men, and Rocky Tsujio basically owns and leads H&K Trading, which is a company that's been around for over 30 years and basically sell various products of which to interest to you are probably going to be the kitchen cutlery things. So again, thank you to John Sugio of Bonsai Boys Trading. Now I know that an unboxing video of a board you might think is not really necessary, but I think I did a pretty good job. It's pretty ASMR-y. So let's go watch the unboxing. We'll come back and I will tell you why this is my favorite board. So, what did I tell you? ASMR-y enough for you? I thought it was pretty cool. So the reason this is my favorite board is, again, going back to that video where I reviewed the 7 synthetic rubber cutting boards from Parker Asahi. Yes, my conclusion was that my favorite at the time was the beige or cream, 20 millimeters thick, and the largest that they sent me. But if I could have my holy grail of cutting boards, it would have been, and currently is, I wanted it in black and 20 millimeters thick, but that wasn't possible back then. You could only have it 15 millimeters thick, and I would have wanted it deeper. As you saw with the Hado, I kind of put that across the board to give you a bit of a comparison. So what you'll see next is essentially I took 3 of my favorite knives. We have the Hado Blue One Damascus 210 millimeter Giotto. We have the Isamitsu Ogomi Super Kiritsuke 230 millimeters, and finally we have the Tetsujin Labo 240 millimeters Blue 2 Kiritsuke Giotto. I use those knives just to test how the board feels. Does it feel like the others? And the answer is yes. Now, the information you're probably missing but wondering about is that Parker Asahi are my favorite synthetic rubber cutting boards because I like the weight. They're not too light, they feel just heavy enough that they stay in place, that they're easy to move around. I like how dense the material is. It's not porous at all. You can cut on it for a really long time and you're not going to be creating shards of rubber on the surface of the board. I like how amazing they are for the edge retention of my knives. They don't leave a smell, and they're very attractive and come in various sizes. And particularly with the professional series, I'm a huge fan of the sound my knife makes when coming in contact with the cutting board. That nice thump is a super satisfying feeling. Maybe let me back up 1 second. For those of you new to the channel or new to learning about synthetic rubber cutting boards, specifically Parker Asahi, there are kind of 3 variations that you would be looking into. And there's a picture that's going to be up on screen now that kind of shows visually those differences. So there's the consumer line, there's the professional line, and there's the professional black. In both the professional and professional black line, the big difference is there's this wooden powder, which I still haven't figured out what it is, that's embedded within the synthetic rubber and makes it just sound really nice. It's super thumpy, kind of like this. Whereas in the consumer line, still a fantastic board, but you also can't get above a certain thickness. I believe it's 13 millimeters. And they sound a little bit more plasticky. So me being, you know, a knife aficionado and really liking even things like a nice sound, I'm a big fan of professional all the way. But again, I wanted it professional and black, 20 millimeters. That wasn't a thing. And then I wanted it deeper because sometimes the way I food prep is I will cut and prepare a whole meal on the cutting board. So whatever I cut, maybe some capers, push them off to the side. Next, anchovies, push them off to the side. Cherry tomatoes off to the side. With the typical Parker Asahi sizes that you will see a lot even on the internet, they tend to be a bit more narrow because those are the type of boards that are still to this day very popular in Japanese kitchens because the Japanese kitchens tend to be narrower. I wanted mine to be deeper. So this, to me, is the best synthetic rubber cutting board possible. It has everything I've ever wanted in a synthetic rubber cutting board. It feels great. It's not too heavy. I can still bring it to the sink. Speaking about that, yes, these boards cannot be washed in the dishwasher. They are not dishwasher safe, but that's okay. I just stand it up in the sink. I give it a good old scrub and I let it dry. No different than the Hasegawa boards, which are also, in my opinion, difficult to dry. Unless you're using something like a microfiber cloth, that's a bit better, but anything else that's too stringy, that's too fibrous, and the fibers will get stuck to the material, even on an Asahi where the grain is really tight, one of my preferences for the Parker Asahi. So, you know, I did just about everything I could. I used 3 different knives just to have 3 different experiences, using it on some small ingredients, some larger ingredients that were just prone to working well with the knife at hand. And in all instances, in all 6 variations of knife and food item, I just had a blast. This is the best synthetic rubber cutting board for me. And I highly encourage anyone who wants to delve into the world of synthetic rubber cutting boards to consider Parker Asahi and to go check out the website of Bonsai Boys Trading. They have this board in the professional black available in various sizes. So again, for me, this one is the extra large, 600 millimeters long by 300 millimeters wide or tall, because I'm standing it up, by 20 millimeters thick. This is an absolutely fabulous board. At this point, if you're asking me, I know you're not, but if you're asking me, I don't need to look elsewhere. This is my board. This is the only one I care to own. For those content creators out there, another pro of the black, everything just looks really nice. You can take even a little gray tea towel, and it's just beautiful contrast. You want to take my yellow microfiber towel, beautiful contrast. I love the black cutting board, both as an experience, but also for photography and videography. So thanks again, guys, for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. Otherwise, I have quite a few other cutting board videos at this point. For some reason, what's trending and sending people to this channel is best cutting boards. I don't know why. I do review knives, but of course I review knives on cutting boards. So thank you again to John Sugio of Bonsai Boys Trading. I cannot wait to continue using this board for as long as I need to. So again, I'm not looking elsewhere. That's all I gotta say. If you have questions for me, people ask me questions all the time on Instagram about my favorite knife, if they should buy this knife, that kitchen tool, yada yada. Doesn't matter, no question's a bad question. It will always be my pleasure to try to help you as much as possible. If you like this channel and you enjoyed the content that I created for you, please remember to like and subscribe, leave a comment, it goes a long way, hit that bell button, and otherwise, typically I take a knife and point it at the camera. Let's grab this beautiful extra large Parker Asahi professional black 600mm long by 300mm wide by 20mm thick cutting board and say, see you next time.